Welcome to the first ever edition of the Pyro Puppet Prix, part of our Golden Creator Cup competition series hosted by the Golden House Discord server. I'm Zanto. If you're active in theorycraft Discord such as Kaching Mains, you may recognize me, and I'm joined today by none other than XF3.
Hi, I'm XF3. I'm also active in Kaching Mains, and I also have my own YouTube channel where I post my own Genshin content. As a starter, this challenge is unique in the fact that there are very strict rules. This is a speedrunning competition between two teams, each made up of one Chinese and one non-Chinese player, who will compete in the top and bottom halves of 12-3 respectively.
Also unique to this competition is that it includes a pick and ban phase for characters and weapons.
That's right, there's no restriction on weapon refinements and constellations, but each team will have the opportunity to ban up to 4 characters and weapons. Furthermore, each team will be restricted to 3 5-star weapons and 10 total, plus 20 artifacts across all their members. Meaning each individual character can only equip at most 2 20 artifacts, the rest have to be +0.
That sounds exciting. So for this competition, we really want to showcase our speedrunners' creativity.
Yeah, there's not much of a competition without restrictions. With the rules out of the way, let's introduce our contestants. On Team Bear and Bunny, we have I Win to Lose and Windy, and on Team Globo, we have Sawa and Critto. I think pick ban's gonna be pretty exciting. Who do you think is gonna be the highest priority ban?
Is there any question? There's no way that Bennett will be left on the board.
I think Bennett is one of the strongest characters in the game, and for him to not be banned is going to be kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's not just that. Like, he's the most universal buffer in the game. Like, you absolutely cannot go wrong with picking Bennett. The other important thing to remember is that Bennett isn't actually dependent on his artifacts either, meaning the restriction on +20 artifacts won't affect him nearly as much as other supports.
And there it is. Bennett is banned. The next obvious ban is probably just like that. Kazuha banned just as the same reason as Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett and Kazuha are the 2 most obvious bans, but now it becomes tricky. There are so many good options still on the table. Eula, Butao, Ayaka, some of the best speedrunners are still up.
What about Venti?
Yeah, Venti's an interesting case. Does he bring enough value on 12-1 to justify his relatively weak performance on the other
Freedom
stages?
Sworn ban.
Well, I didn't expect that at all, especially with Kazuha off the table.
I totally forgot you could ban weapon. I was focusing so hard on the characters that were strong on this.
Does Freedom Sworn even make sense? Who can use it besides Kazuha? Okay, yeah, that's really smart. Banning Mist is like a 2-for-1. You ban Mist, but you're also hitting Ayaka at the same time. Okay, Sara off the table. I guess that means we might not see Raiden then. Okay, and there's Venti. I guess he's just too strong for 12-1.
Oh boy, man.
Okay, now there's a twist to the first round of picks. Each team is able to pick for the other team now.
No, Razor's not that bad actually. Obviously he's a physical DPS, but they're definitely worse characters.
Yeah, and then there's Barbara. You know, with the artifact and weapon restriction, Barbara might not be that bad either. Thrilling Tales can save the day here. Now the next picks, each team is picking for themselves.
Jing Cho is one of the characters that can function really well with the 4-star weapon like Sacrificial Sword. He doesn't necessarily need artifacts, especially for the context of this challenge.
And Shangling denies national team from Bear and Bunny. I like it.
Okay, with Sucrose you get a lot similar to Kazuha, but she's not a better buffer, but I like the pick.
Tao and Mona, that's a lot of burst for a speedrun. And no surprise there, we all know how strong Universal Zhongli is. Okay, Albedo ban is surprising.
Child ban makes a lot of sense. He's been one of the best speedrunners ever since his release.
Okay. Interesting. Looks like the meta is to take away the best in slot weapons over the respective characters themselves. And I take that back. Looks like Ganyu is just so broken she gets banned even when Amos is off the table.
And the next 2 picks, we're going back to the opposing team picks.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, a lot of people don't know much about Alloy, myself included, so what do you think?
Not sure either.
Okay, there she is. Even without Mist Splitter, she's still probably one of the strongest speedrunning characters in the game.
And Raiden got picked. Nice to see all 3 Archons picked or banned. And then now Yoimiya.
Okay, So one interesting thing to point out is that Alloy is actually a pretty decent cryo battery. Eula's good on her own, but I like how she also makes Alloy somewhat useful too.
That concludes the draft. Who do you think came up on top?
I don't know, it seems pretty favored for Team Baron Bunny. They have a really solid speedrun core with Hu Tao, Mona, Xingqiu, and then you can even do some stupid stuff with Yoimiya and Raiden for overload. It's just Team Guoba's. It has Eula and Razor for superconducts and to Emperor, but Ayaka without any sort of freeze is just sort of lackluster.
Yeah, I agree. And also Xiangling and Sucrose, they have like 2 members of the core, but not having any Hydro or not having Bennett, essentially, it really neutered Xiangling's value.
Yeah, I think Xiangling was, as strong as she is really relying on Bennett, so the second that he was gone, a lot of comps just went out the window. All right, let's start the competition. Team Baron Bunny will be going first. I Win to Lose will be covering first half for this team. Now, we did say that Team Baron Bunny did have the stronger draft, so very excited to see what kind of teams they'll be planning to run. Okay, I saw Raiden. So we have Raiden, Barbara, Mona, and Yoimiya. So we have some interesting over-vape gameplay. Not quite sure who's going to be the main damage dealer here. I'm not even sure if you'll even switch to Yoimiya.
Yeah, after that one shot, I think you just use Raiden most of the time.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Yoimiya fills in the downtime. Yeah, I guess Raiden and Yoimiya like fill in each other's downtime, like a dual carry kind of thing.
Yeah.
Doing the first, and then we're starting rotation 2. Pretty good energy economy. Everyone's been able to burst, except for Barbara, because you don't really press that. Okay,
Yeah,
cleaning up very well. Despite overload typically not being very good on these mob stages, that was a very fast clear. Very impressed.
Right. Well, he has an elemental burst card, which is nice.
Yeah, it's very strong. There's Team Eula.
Yeah. 2 batteries on this team, really nice for Eula.
No energy issues here. Razor is still serviceable as a superconductor plier.
I got unlucky with the grouping.
Yeah, like these kind of stages are just really RNG dependent for Eula, because her first AoE is just so restricted, and it's impossible to get these guys grouped up without a dedicated grouper. But still doing pretty good. This guy's taking a bit of time though.
No superconduct applied on him, so.
So you've got a nice set. Okay, everyone's grouping themselves up, which is really nice, except for the range guys. Oh, this is gonna be so clean. Oh, I'm ready for it. Oh, clean. That was so clean. All right, moving on to second half. We have Windy representing Team Baron Bunny, and coincidentally, Amber is on this team. And overall, this team looks pretty standard. It's a pretty standard Hu Tao team. Noelle's a bit out of place, but
you can only do so much with their limited roster, so.
Yeah, and limited artifacts. The Xingqiu Rain Swords are looking very sad here, but
with the Noel burst.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, sack on Xingqiu, very band-aid fix to his energy.
Yes, sir. Making quick work of that Eye of the Storm, and these guys are going to be a bit annoying, I think.
Yeah, they can fly too high up for Hu Tao to even hit them.
Yeah, very annoying. No problem with energy though, which is nice. And moving on to the second wave. He does have Noelle to break that Geo Shield, so it's not the worst matchup. Oh, the C6 coming in clutch there. Unfortunately, doesn't get to take advantage of it. He had to swap off right after, but that was very clutch. Slow, okay.
Yeah, he needed to use burst there. His C6 probably ran out.
I think it disappears when you swap off as well. Now, surprised he hasn't swapped to Noelle. Yeah, there it is. And that shield quickly goes away. And then standard Hu Tao stuff. You know, Hu Tao Amber is actually a very, very good combination, especially when you have Elegy on your Amber, which I assume she does.
She does.
Yeah. Very good run. All right, now for Critto's run for Team Guoba. God, Ayaka, Shangling, and Sucrose. So this is probably a reverse melt team. The question is, who's melting? Is it Shangling or is it Ayaka?
Ayaka has problems with her ICD. With her burst, it's probably Shangling, but maybe some.
Oh my God!
Oh,
what just happened?
but the thing is, he needs to get all this energy back.
Yeah, without a battery for Ayaka, might be a bit rough. Doesn't look like he has a lot of ER either. I don't think he's gonna get a second Ayaka burst here. Unless... Wait, no, he probably has enough time.
The Engulfing Lightning on Shangling helps with the ER, but yeah, Ayaka doesn't have her burst back.
Yeah, neither Ayaka or Shangling have a battery for the 8 cost burst, so... Okay, so this is a 2 rotation thing. This is very fast. This is extremely fast.
Got a bit unlucky with the grouping there, but still extremely fast.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Alright, now in Chamber 2, back to I Win to Lose Gaming with his interesting overvape team. This team does have pretty... Yeah, he does have a crit card, so he does have that extra power. And this team actually has pretty good single target by virtue of Yoimiya. I do believe she can probably still vape a fair amount of her attacks, just because her ICD is very bad.
Close one on Raiden's health. Yeah, Barba burst.
Yeah, yeah. And Yoimiya should be able to make quick work of this Magu Kenki. Ooh, didn't dodge that one. Staying in melee range, so the arrows travel and hit just a little bit faster. This is speedrun after all.
Earning that. Ooh, nice.
Huge burst damage. And this should be dead. Wow.
Kind of cutting it close there with the HP, but yep.
Alright, let's see how Sawa copes with the Magu Kenki. Alright. Does have some a little battering to do. Can he get Eula's burst up before this Magu Kenki starts the DPS?
If you saw that, yep, he re-stacked part of Broken Pines, but didn't fully do it.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's the small optimizations that make the big difference in the end. Not enough energy on Eula still. This is holding him back a little bit. Gonna be a bit inefficient here. He's gonna get the Eula burst to pop on the invulnerability frames of the Kenki. There it is. He's got the Sakbo on Aloe. Probably a Sakbo and Diona as well. Or Fav. Okay, now it's just an issue of getting energy back for Eula. Even with 2 batteries, uptime on this burst is looking a bit rough.
Yeah.
It is finally.
Considering that Kenki doesn't drop many HP orbs, you don't get too much energy on him.
Ooh, I have to go for another rotation here. Very tragic.
I think he procced the Wolf's Gravestone right when the burst landed, which was really nice.
Very well timed.
I have to use another burst.
Yep.
This means he won't get burst up for the start of the next chamber.
That's true, yeah. That's one of the issues with Eula in continuous runs. We'll see if they can pick it back in the next chamber. Now we have the infamous Chichen Mage stages. Very annoying stage to deal with. But Windy should have no problem here, given they are relatively single target. And Pyro does break the shields very fast.
Biomade got destroyed, but now he has to deal with the Maiden.
Yep. Obviously, you're gonna need a second rotation here. Things up. And
jump canceling E.
Yeah. Optimizing everything. So the N2Cs I see.
That's one unlucky dash cancel. Still a solid run.
Very solid, yeah. Alright, back to Critto with his Ayaka Shangling melt team. There is a slight disadvantage here because they are resistant to cryo. But with this much shred, 60% res shred, it should be no big deal.
Yeah, and wrongly burst at the start is pretty interesting for grouping. Typically players don't use it because it's DPS loss, but...
Yeah, in these kinds of stages, grouping is definitely more important. Maiden's refusing to die here.
Caged a bit unlucky.
Yep.
And the Cryo Mage just stood there, so he lost a bit of AoE.
And the VV is probably worn off at this point.
Like how he saved his burst for the next chamber.
True.
He had them up at the end.
Alright, we finally arrived at 12-3-1. This is the speedrunner's favorite. 2 rune guards to just stand there and let you kill them. And I Went to Lose did get a really good card here. 60% attack while you're under half HP.
Yeah, we pointed out that he took a lot of damage on the Kinky stage. Maybe that was intentional.
Maybe, yeah. And that writing is gonna chunk, and there it is! Now, onto Team Guoba's run. Eula does have a bad matchup here. The enemies have a lot of physical resistance.
This is a boundary.
Yep, gotta spend some time. There it is, the first burst, and the fight should be done once this pops.
Yep.
Wow, she's just slack, attacking so fast. There it is. And while the previous chamber was everyone's favorite, this is everyone's most hated. The prototype, the mechanical array, whatever its name is. Absolutely terrible to speedrun. And no book tricking, no exploits here, just full run and...
Making quick work now, but yep, this is the issue, the downtime.
Yeah, the downtime and the multiple waves effectively to kill the ads, and then you have to DPS it again, and then if you fail the DPS check, you have to do this all from the start. And
so the Noel burst is interesting. I'm guessing he has, as on the previous stages it didn't really matter, but I'm guessing he has Petra.
Maybe, yeah. I would assume you would want her to be just, you know, as useful as possible, so Petra does seem like a no-brainer here. And here it is, the first HP threshold is to find the right mob to kill. Bring them, trying to group them all together? What's happening here?
You guys don't know, the one with that ring is the one you can damage.
So right here. Yeah, very unfortunate. You spend an entire Hu Tao rotation just to kill this, and then do another Hu Tao rotation onto the actual PMA. Might even need more than one rotation here. Ooh, you hate
At least
to
this
see it.
rotation will lead into the weakened state.
It'll sync up. There's the Shincho burst. And here it is. Can he kill it? Moment of truth. Should be able to.
Let's have a crap ton of res down during this weekend. Yep, there it is.
Alright. Almost an extremely clean run. Just a bit off with one-shotting into the burst there. Alright. Critto does have his burst saved up here, which lets him front load a lot of damage at the start.
No vapes, no melts, so
Yeah,
losing
I guess
a lot
it's
of
not worth
damage.
waiting for the Shangling energy to fill up.
Wrongling burst again is interesting. Maybe he has Nobus?
Probably, yeah, I would suspect that's the case. Nice consistent damage going on here. Ike's energy is almost back up. Refreshing Noblesse there. Now we're just waiting for the HP threshold.
And all the C2s hit is really nice too.
Yeah, the Kime's a fat boy. Oh, they got the same enemy kill. That's nice. Now it's just a DPS check. Can he also get enough energy back for the main DPS phase? Looks like he will have enough. This Aika must be running some amount of ER, I believe.
Yeah. Has his Micah burst back.
And there it is.
Red melts. Yep. Ongli and BB and the weakened state. And quick work.
Doesn't look like Shangling double hits this, but she does not need the double hits. PMA has been slain. Alright, now let's start adding up the times. For Team Baron Bunny, first side was 45.1 seconds for Chamber 1, 46.7 seconds for Chamber 2, and 20.7 seconds for Chamber 3. For second half, 1 minute 47 seconds for chamber 1, 44.7 seconds for chamber 2, and 1 minute and 54 seconds for chamber 3.
Team Globa, first half was for Team Globa on chamber 1 first half, 49 seconds, 1 minute 23 seconds, and then 25 seconds. For second half, 56 seconds, 42 seconds, and 1 minute 34 seconds.
Which means, drumroll please, that puts our final times to Team Bear and Bunny, 6 minutes and 18 seconds versus Team Globa's 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
You're proven wrong, Zanto.
I get the underdog has won in like a 30-second difference.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. On paper, I think Bear and Bunny has a stronger draft.
I think Globa, Team Globa actually thought it through because they put Eula on the humanoid type stages.
Right.
So she doesn't need to worry about Shred as much while they put their amp team on the more tanky stages.
And I guess the added restrictions to gear, weapons, and artifacts just hit Team Bear and Bunny a little bit harder. While the majority of the other runs were very, very close to each other, this half in this chamber specifically, chamber 1's second half, was the biggest difference. Critto had a 1 minute faster clear than his opponent here.
This grouping at the beginning was insane.
Yeah, it was perfect. Killed them all in one burst and seamlessly transitioned into the next rotation.
The Zhongli burst actually helped a lot because it kept them in place for Ayaka's burst to hit everything.
Yeah. Normally Ayaka would obviously freeze them, but not possible. Wait, can you even freeze the wisps? The specters?
You can, but it's very difficult without Xingqiu. You didn't get the perfect grouping here, but still really good. In comparison
with Windy's run, which took 1 minute and 47 seconds, let's see how that panned out. The first thing that's the big difference here is which direction they ran in. He actually went to the opposite direction that Critto went in, and the grouping, as you can see, is not that good because I don't even think the Eye of the Storm gets hit by that Hu Tao burst because it was up in the air.
But this could be it's just a fundamental problem with Hu Tao. She doesn't have the AoE capabilities as Ayaka.
Yeah.
And him not having any CC, sure, Zhongli ult is a DPS loss in scenarios, but that grouping and that CC allows the Ayaka run to be much faster. Because he has to waste time killing these.
Critto's already done the run at this point.
That too. When they die in desynced, you waste time from them exploding.
I think it might have been smart to break the Lao Churl shield preemptively, just so it just takes more damage from everything basically, instead of saving it for the very last minute. Yeah, and at this point, the time gap is just too large.
It was almost a minute difference. It just shows how much grouping and AoE mattered.
Yeah, and the team comp was just more favored for Team Globa. Ayaka's very front-loaded, and because these guys are so hard to keep grouped for a sustained period of time, being able to get all your damage off in 5 seconds is very valuable. And that concludes the Pyro Puppet Prix. We hope you had as much fun watching the runs as we did. Please make sure to check out each of the participants' respective social media accounts and give them a follow. Make sure to join Golden House Discord where many other speedrunning events are held as well. I'm Zanto.
And I'm XF3.
Thank you for watching.